I believe that Croatia are a good side, but for this World Cup, it feels like it's the end of the road for them. As you could see previously, they struggled to get that win against Japan because they were stretched all the way to the penalties by a Japan side that is so resilient. Now Brazil is not just resilient, Brazil is compact, is balanced, and for the fact that Neymar is back to the squad, Brazil is going to have an easy round. Croatia will definitely give a fight. They won't leave without giving a fight. And Brazil won't let it get to the extra time or penalties. Brazil will definitely make sure that they use their chances and capitalize on all of them. Holland feel like an average team. They are decent enough, they've gotten wins somehow, but this Argentina side, whenever you see them play, you can feel the Messi sensation in them, and that will be the difference. He will be the difference in that game. As much as we don't want to admit it, Messi will be the one to tell Van Dijk, it was nice seeing you at the World Cup. See you at club level football. Yeah. Of course, Messi against Holland. I'd love to see more of Di Maria or Lautaro Martinez on that game. For the Holland side, honestly, I don't know, because there hasn't been a particular star that has risen to the occasion. When it comes to the Brazilian team, everyone would say Neymar, but to some extent, I feel one person who's being overlooked is Richarlison. Richarlison is a guy who's being overlooked, and he's putting in performances. He's putting in a proper shift for the Seleção team, which I'm very surprised because he plays for a bottling team. So Richarlison will make a big difference because everyone is looking up to Neymar. Oh, and another player is definitely Vinicius Jr. Vinicius is pulling the strings left, right and center, especially from the wings, and if the Croatian team are not careful, Vinicius will be the one to harm them. How about the Croatians? We'd love to say, we'd definitely run for Modric, Perisic, Kramaric, but how old is Modric again? 38, 39? He's been playing 90 minutes back to back, so he's definitely exhausted. And with such an intense game, him being in midfield with players like Casemiro and Paqueta, you know, that's a very it's an oil-engined team. I believe a team like Croatia, the weakness they have is not scoring. That will definitely be their weakness, because if a team isn't scoring, then at some point they will be the ones soaking in a lot of pressure. But you can only take in so much, and playing against someone like Brazil, they know when to hit you, and when they hit hard. So I feel the weakness for Croatia is that they can't attack. They can attack, but they can't finish. The finishing touch, they lack it so much. For the Brazilian side, wow, for a team that I support, it's hard for me to see their deficiencies. But I feel one area maybe they can sauce it up a little bit is probably the defense. To some extent, when Brazil is on the receiving end, you can see that they are missing that, because especially when it comes to pace, if they were attacking high and the last man is a man like Thiago Silva, also in his late 30s, being attacked by players who are energetic, young, full of energy, is definitely going to be a problem for them. The Netherlands side, their weakness is going to be the whole team. If they let Argentina score one, you can see that in the Netherlands team, they are not only just decent, but they also have that something I would love to call like a low morale. They are playing maybe because they want to impress Louis van Gaal or their fans back at home, but I'm not so convinced that if it's a team if that goes down by a goal or two by halftime, if they'll come back at the second half and try to prove a point that we're actually here to stay. So for the Argentinian team, it's easy. Hit them and hit them hard, because they're also lucky. Saudi Arabia showed us everything we need to see about this Argentinian side. And Saudi Arabia is like, not to say, but bottom of the barrel when it comes to the World Cup competition. You know, yeah, it's arguable. Definitely. Unlike Portugal, that they have already withdrawn from depending on CR7, the South American team still need Lionel Messi for them to work, not just as a team but also as a group. On and off the pitch, you can see that they depend on Messi to make decisions, to make the right pass. Even when they play, you can feel that they are playing just to look for Messi. If Messi is not open, they look like a mid-table team in the Premier League, full of a lot of passes that are not resulting to anything. There is a chance for an upset, especially for Argentina. This is not me hating, but this is me just looking at the facts. Because again, as I've said earlier, Argentina have managed to win games, but they have not been convincing at the World Cup. So with such a team playing against a very decent team that have convinced a few and is decent. Now the problem with decent teams is they can attack and they can defend, unlike a team that can only attack and they can attack so well. So Holland may cause an upset to Argentina. As for Brazil, Croatia, it's unlikely. For that game, we are all expecting for Brazil to be the win, to come out victorious, and if they don't, it won't happen. Croatia versus Brazil, I'm hoping Brazil to win a solid 2-0. Oh my God, the decent Dutch team are going to suffer a loss by 3-1.